Your picture will get taken. It's just not going to be by me.
Yeah.
So, Courtney, tell us what you've been up to.
Rotting on my couch because I can't do anything right now.
Right?
Watching
Because you
TV.
broke your wrist.
Because I broke my wrist.
What about you, Josh? What have you been up to?
Oh, what I've been doing, I've been watching my kids a lot. I've been using them as guinea pigs for trying different photography stuff. I've been happy with it. Yeah, shooting old school pictures of my kids, them playing in the yard.
Fun. That's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of pickleball lately.
you have been.
That's what I've been doing. Mm-hmm.
Are you good at it?
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
mean, yeah, we played for hours. So, but yeah, the people I play with say I'm good. They want to be on my team, and that's all that counts. I felt like the opposite of the last kid in gym class.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
the last kid in gym class.
I feel like I was the middle kid in gym class my whole life. Like I was an athlete, so like did stuff, but I was still a girl.
Yeah.
So like in the middle, you know. No, I've been playing and I enjoy it. Somebody told me it's for people who are too lazy to play tennis.
I think it's supposed to be
And
for
I don't
it's
care.
lower impact than tennis for like people that might have joint issues. Like it started as an older adult thing. It's
Yeah.
not as much impact.
Yeah, possibly, but my entire body hurts when I'm done, so I don't care. Those old people are in shape because I am like dead. And I'm like fine with it because I've been wanting to exercise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been having fun.
Nice.
Yep, I've been thinking about taking my camera out there, but I feel like people might not want to be recorded. All right, I guess we can just jump in. So on our podcast, we talk about creative stuff, and I was telling Josh that you do the like chalk murals in places around town, and so I thought it'd be cool if you came on and talked about it a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't been doing it very long. Probably like a little over 2 years now.
Yeah, totally.
At least
As long
getting-
as Dan's been open.
getting
Dan's has been
paid for
open.
it for 2 years. Yeah. But I started doing it at the bar that I work at and doing the specials and just like writing cute little like shit up there with the specials. I drew a piece of bread that had a beret on it for a French toast shot.
Very nice.
Cute little shit like that.
Yeah.
Makes people look and actually order the specials.
Nice.
And then when Dan's opened, I started doing their chalkboard behind the bar, which was supposed to be temporary, but they decided they liked it and kept it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just like spiraled from there.
You did the big
The octopus.
mural in the
The
bar
octopus
too.
is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing I've ever done.
And that's pretty big. That's a really big piece.
It's huge.
Yeah. It takes up like the whole back wall kind of.
So I've not been in the, I guess it's Dirty Dan's. Is that like a painted mural? It's not like a chalk thing?
It's chalk, and then there's a mirror right underneath it, and so I have like 2 tentacles with chalk marker that are coming like, it looks like he's hanging out behind the mirror with 2 of his tentacles peeking
That's cool.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of his eyes is the security camera that's back there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
That takes planning, right? To
Probably should have planned it more than I
Okay.
did, but yes.
What is the process like start to finish when you get
It depends on if I'm doing something more creative or more like planned and like structured. I do, so like some boards I do are like full creative control. I can do whatever I want up there. And then some have like specific things that they need. So like AJ McMurphy's, I do their board twice a year. And in the fall, before NFL starts, I do their Pick the Pros. And I do all of the rules for that. And then they leave a spot for like the winners and the running score and everything like that. So I like doing both the creative and the more structured. The structured probably doesn't take me as long because I can visualize it and just put it up there, and it's a lot of lettering, which is not super hard. The creative takes me a lot longer because I have to figure out spacing and what's going to go where and keep the whole board on theme with each other and get everything together that way. But I usually wing it either way. I will sometimes sketch out some ideas if I have them, but half the time I just kind of am like, we're just going to see what comes out.
How do you like pick your theme?
I've
Come
done
up with what you can come up with, or
the creative boards that I've done most of the time they kind of let me just do whatever I want in like the creative aspects of the more structured boards as well. They usually just kind of let me do whatever. I did like a St. Patty's Day theme at AJ's because it's an Irish pub.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I did a SpongeBob theme at Dan's. It was aimed to be a cartoon board, and then it just ended up mostly SpongeBob.
But weren't they doing something like alcohol related?
I did like the SpongeBob and Patrick scene of like, no, I'm Dirty Dan.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
that's
was
what it
like
was.
true to the show. And then I did Squidward when he plays in the Super Bowl, but I put him in a purple and gold jersey, and he was catching a bush light instead of a football.
That's fun.
Okay, yeah. Does the size of the board and everything affect what your idea might be?
Yeah, it does. It also kind of depends on how the board is broken up. So, like, for instance, Dan's board has that big neon directly in the middle of it, which has squashed some of my ideas in the past because it's smack in the middle and hard to kind of work around. Plus, it's just in an awkward spot in general. That whole board is.
And don't you at the bottom part of it is covered by like the bottle liquor
all
bottles,
the bottles
right?
sit like at the bottom, so I have to keep in mind of like how tall are they? Is what I'm doing going to be completely covered by this, or is it going to get messed up if somebody knocks their hand into it, kind of thing. The chalk I use is like it stains.
I was just gonna ask like what kind of, if you get a special kind of chalk.
I just use soft pastels. It's the easiest thing, and
That's like the brand or
just the type. It's just like a step up from sidewalk chalk, basically. It's more vivid. It comes out a lot brighter, and layers a lot better when you're actually using it.
But it doesn't stay on like.
It's still chalk.
Yeah.
It stains the boards too, which is super fun.
Oh, when it's time to make a new one. Yeah.
Is there like a chemical that you can put up there to get it off?
I have tried everything
really?
that I could possibly think of to get off. Windex does okay. Certain colors stain worse than others. And it also just depends on like how you want the next board to look.
I don't know if we brought up that you freehand everything. I've seen you do it. So have you always drawn like
I didn't start really drawing until I started doing the doodles on the chalkboard at Max.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago. I was never a big artistic. I used to like write. I like to write a lot, but I was never a big drawer. And then I started doing that. And
I feel like if people saw these boards, which shameless plug, we'll have her Instagram for it linked. I feel like if people saw these boards, they wouldn't believe that you like just started doing that.
I don't know. Like I think it's a big part of like my perfectionism, and I get really anal about what it looks like and go over and redo, which is why I like chalk too, because it's easy with a wet rag to like fix a mistake and go back and redo what you need to. But I haven't been drawing that long. I'm on a hiatus right now, sadly.
Do you do
Left hand out of commission.
other mediums other than chalk, or?
I've done chalk like markers, like basically paint markers.
Yeah.
I'm doing acrylic paint marker. I'm in the middle of one right now. It's acrylic paint markers that I.
Have you ever like thought about just like painting, or do you have more control with the marker type?
I feel like I have more control with the markers. I'm not super comfortable with paint yet, but it's something I really like want to get more comfortable with.
Even just to like fill in large areas.
And I've done like a few things. Like I have my little jar that I've done. That's the Cody Christian pine needles thing. And I did that with acrylic.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I did that with acrylic, and it took me longer than I would like to admit because I was very particular about what it looked like.
Well, these like the projects you used to do with these bars, they take you quite a bit of time.
Anywhere from like 10 to 20 hours.
Yeah,
generally.
and you do it all during closed hours of the bar, when the bar's closed.
Depends on what bar it is. Depends on where it is. Where the board is physically in the building that it's in, but also what kind of business it is, on when I can work on it and how quickly I can get it done. But I get a lot of people coming up and like asking me questions and like tapping me on the shoulder, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's just like, that's like the worst. I do not understand what goes through people's heads when they see someone like actively working in any capacity, because this happens to me a lot, where like when I'm shooting a show and I'm like recording video and I get tapped on the shoulder or poked or whatever to get my attention while I'm actively recording. And it's not one of those things where I'm just like standing there and maybe you can mistake. My arms are in the air.
It's
I'm
very
watching the
obvious.
camera. It's very obvious. I'm currently recording the show, and people will tap on me and like go out of their way to get my attention, to be like, oh, take my picture.
No.
Or what kind of camera do you use? Or how long have you been doing this? Or, oh, you like shoot, like you photograph shows, or you do this show. It's
You
like,
should just tell them, no, I don't.
does
No.
this
Never done this in my life.
in your brain, like if we took a step back and thought about it, does this really feel like a good time to ask me those questions? And it's like, you're like on a ladder drawing chalk and like focused, and like, is this the time? Take a step back. Is this the time to ask me these questions?
Yeah. I make sure I have my headphones in, like,
like-
very clearly not talking to anybody, not trying to
There's
talk
a
to
difference
anybody.
between like just being friendly and just being like,
Annoying.
and like unaware.
Mhm.
Just like, I swear to God, those people, there is no world beyond the inside of their head.
Correct.
Like, you have no awareness of like what anybody's doing around, like, and it frustrates me because this is my job. I'm
Yeah.
paid to be here. I'm doing my job.
You're interrupting
and
it.
you're interrupting for something. Like, find me on Instagram and send me a message, or like come find, like, when I'm not doing anything, I'm standing and I'm talking to people, like, that would be, if you have like random questions, that would be a time to ask. Not when I'm it's always my hands are in the air and I'm actively recording. What about
I've seen
that?
it happen to
Yeah,
you.
like,
I've
what
seen people do
about
it to
that
you.
is like, this is the perfect time to ask her
Right now.
where she got her t-shirt. Like,
As she's stepping up onto the
Yeah.
stage, let me stop her.
yeah, like, I've been starting to say, people are like, can you like take my picture? And I just say no. No, bye. Like, I like my friend told me that she tells people her camera doesn't do that. It's like, sorry, it doesn't take photos. Like, it's so bad. And it happens all of the time. It's like the public service announcement. If you see someone with a camera in their hand, it doesn't automatically mean they want to take your photo.
It sounds like a good thing to put on the back of a T-shirt.
Like, it's
Like,
it'd
no,
be a really
I'm-
long thing on a
yeah.
t-shirt. It reminds me of one of those things. It's like, if you can read this, you're standing
Yes, you're
too
too
close.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get from that t-shirt. That would be really
Maybe
fun.
if it just said, it's not photos, it's video. Or
something along,
something
yeah,
like
something
just
along
straight
that-
to the
yeah,
point.
Yeah. But even like, if it's even photographers, like, I'm here like photographing the band. I don't want to take a picture of you and your drunk friend in the part of the bar that's not lit, like lit differently than the stage that I'm taking photos of.
Yeah.
That you're never going to see or get.
Yes.
You're never going to get this photo. So leave me alone.
It's not like you've been hired by the bar to come and take photos of the
Yes,
customers.
yes.
Like, there's somebody in there to do that. So why are they
Yes.
bothering you?
And that person's gonna come around and say like, "Oh, you want your your picture taken?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
like, don't go up to a photographer in the middle or a videographer in the middle of doing what they're supposed to be doing and tell them. That's another thing too.
My picture.
Yeah, I would say it's more often than not, I don't get the ask, I get the tell.
Yeah.
Take our picture. Take this picture. Or like, I've had people who they go and get in front of my camera
I've seen
and
that
act
too.
ridiculous, and I'm like,
Oh, I know exactly the specific instance you're talking about.
that's the recent one, but it happens all the time. It's not like one. It has
Yeah.
one time. It happens all the time. I have a video of like where you can see like I'm recording and you can see like me like turn because there's this like there's a girl who was like trying to get my attention and like wave to the camera or whatever, and then like I have the fisheye lens on, so you can see her like peep off up the side and try to reach her head like to the front of in front of the camera, and then her like do this weird like moonwalk thing to be in front of it again, and like I don't get it. I try to put myself inside these people's brains, and I'm like, when is this behavior okay? Like,
I don't think I've ever done that. I've done that I've done that when I've seen you have your camera on me, but
Yeah,
I'm not like
point it to you. If I point my camera to you and you act an idiot, great.
Yeah.
Great. Like, I'm all for it. If I point my camera to you, do whatever you want. Like,
but don't get in front of it.
Go insane. And if you have energy, like if you're at a show and you have good energy, the camera's going to be on you at some point. Mm-hmm. Like, I promise you, because that's what I'm looking for. So, like, it's going to be on you at some point.
That's the worst when you see people that are energetic and you're like, I want to get them, but every time you point the camera at them, they're like
freeze.
And I'm like, no,
like too much.
Doing too much or
yeah,
like the wrong thing.
I'm like, no, I'm not here. And it normally does nothing, but.
Yeah, I get that. Or I get the people that are like waving around and they're trying to get your attention. You finally put the video on them and they pose for a photo. Mm-hmm. And you're like, then it's just, the sound is just me yelling, it's video. It's video.
Keep going.
Video, like, move around. So the video is just shaking because I'm like, like, do something. Your picture will get taken. It's just not going to be by me.
Yeah.
Like, if you want your picture taken and you want me to take it, go interact with the band. I guarantee you're
gonna end up
in a picture.
A picture.
Yeah. Bands that are paying me, they don't want a bunch of pictures of random people in the bar. That's not what they're paying me for.
No.
I don't care if it makes me a jerk. Like, that's not what I'm being paid for.
That makes you a jerk.
Like, go over there in front of the band and put your arms up and sing. And then I'll take your picture. That was a long-winded say. Like, yeah, I hate that.
Don't get in Sam's way.
Yeah. Well, like you were talking about people tapping you, and it just.
Yeah. I don't like when people watch me in general. Like, I'd rather work on a chalkboard when no one's there because I don't like when people watch me do it.
I don't like when people watch me edit.
Yeah, like I just can feel every eye that's staring at me.
I want to justify every move and be like, trust the process. Yeah. Not to drastically change the subject, but you said you've been like getting paid for it for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like was that like a hard shift to start like commissioning or?
I don't think so because I didn't ever really think about it like that until I started doing Dirty Dan's and they asked me to do it when they were opening up initially. Mm-hmm. Just from having like friends that worked there and everything, I got asked. They had seen what I'd done at Max and they were like, oh, okay, why don't you come and do this chalkboard? It's not going to be up there very long. We're getting a mirror, but we don't want to have it blank. Mm-hmm. And then I went and did something and then the boss man saw it and was like, oh no, we're going to keep the chalkboard. So I kind of just like fell into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But I do feel like investing in something like that and making sure those things like look nice and are actually like artistic, I think it does make a difference in like the overall
feel of the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's fun. I don't understand how I got into chalk though, because the feeling of chalk makes me want to claw my skin off sometimes.
I can see that, especially like near your nails, mm-hmm. and if you touch it. Yeah.
Writing in my like finger. Mm-hmm. First of all, sensory problems with your hands.
Yeah, big time.
Will be my downfall.
Amen.
I wouldn't be able to do any of that.
If you whipped out the gloves.
I don't. My hands sweat. Can't wear gloves. So
sensory things.
Yeah. That's another reason I don't like hand-on-hand contact is because
even when we're partner dancing and I'm like, you have to hold on to my hand and she's just trying like barely holding on to my fingertips and I'm like, Sam, we have to hold hands.
I'm just like
every time I hand her something, like if I'm driving and I'm like here and like if this is her hand, she's like, I can't. I'm like,
all right.
I hope there's never a scenario where like Sam is falling off a cliff and I'm like, here. She's like, no,
let me die. She would die. She would have rather die.
Let me die.
She's like,
no.
I'm okay with this.
Let me die.
I'm good.
Toss me a rope, you idiot. Don't use your hand.
Take her belt off
your
and just
leg,
use that.
Anything. Your pants leg. Just not your
I
bare
wore cargo
hand.
shorts.
Just not your bare hand. Do you want to do Song of the Week?
Yeah.
Oh, we've rambled on about my mental illness for long enough now. Okay.
All right, Song of the Week. My song is by the Queens of the Stone Age, and it is "Song for the Dead." It's It's one of those songs that if you listen to while you're driving, you immediately want to speed.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It starts out with guitar and it has this really epic drum intro that is ooh, it's good. It's good driving music.
Pedal to the metal.
It is that. It is that. Yes.
It's good driving music.
Shut up, Sam.
That was the only part of it that soaked into my brain.
What sad song did you pick out?
It is a sad song,
I picked
actually.
a sad song too.
Aha! Game over. Go ahead with your
My
sad
turn.
music. Yeah.
My song of the week is "Good to Drive" by Muscadine Bloodline.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Muscadine fan.
I know you're not. Not like I am.
I don't dislike them. I'm just not. They're not like a band I reach for. But I do like that song.
I've been listening to their older stuff.
It's good live too.
Yeah, and it's very like flowy,
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's a good like very opposite driving vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but like
Yeah.
chill, like windows down, back roads, like
It's actually
chill
not
drive.
good to drive.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I do like that song. It is very summertime song.
Yes,
I feel like.
it's been putting me in a good mood while I'm stuck inside my house. Even though it's kind of about a sad thing, but it's okay.
Drunk driving.
Yeah, because your girlfriend just broke up with you and you want to drunk drive to her house.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't do it, kids.
don't do it. Bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
What's your song of the week?
It's called Dollar Bill Bar by Sarah Farrell. It's a sad song. It's kind of disguised as like a, I wouldn't say it's disguised as a happy song, but it's a little more upbeat sounding. And then if you listen to the lyrics, that's when you realize like it's one of those like Better Off Alone songs.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, I've listened to it's on her new album that I've listened to like cover to cover a bunch of times. Been obsessed right now, but it's really good. I like it a lot. It'll be on the playlist 1413. That's not what it is. I mess it up every time. Between Takes playlist on Spotify. I haven't made one on Apple, and you know what? I probably won't. Oh, the camera's on. I probably won't to the Apple users. Or YouTube users. Thank you. He listens to music on YouTube.
That's disgusting.
Because I pay for YouTube Red and I just make a playlist of the songs I want to listen to.
I don't like that.
Loose
bothers
use
me.
of the word makes a playlist.
Okay.
He has like 10 songs.
You're in a room with playlist girls
Oh,
right
I
now.
know,
That is what
I
we.
know.
Like
She's worse than I am.
like
I just listen to a bunch of her playlists.
smart move.
I know. I still listen to Crunch AF all the time.
Me too.
Crunch AF playlist has been brought up many times on the podcast.
It's a quality
It's
It's
a
a
good
quality playlist.